Alright guys, now that we have the shell or the container for our body, we can go ahead and add some meat to it, some actual content. Now remember I said that in the main section of our body, we didn't add anything in the last tutorial, but we were going to in this tutorial. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to be starting with something called an article. Now whenever you think of article, you probably think, okay, so this means that you're going to be adding something that's going to look like a newspaper article or a magazine article with a bunch of text. Well, an article doesn't have to be like a magazine article. It's just a way that you can group similar information together. So it's not like an article like you think of it. Just think of it as like similar information. So inside an article, here's a cool thing. Each article has its own layout. And by that I mean, you see how our entire body has a header and a footer? Well, these articles also can have headers and footers. So let's go ahead and add a header first. And I might as well go ahead and add a footer while I'm here. Footer, footer. So we're saying, okay, well, let me go ahead and I'll add some content to this. Let me just add a stupid paragraph. So we actually have something in our article. I'll just write, this is the best article ever. There we go. Any typos? Hopefully. So if you're saying, okay, so what the heck would the header be? Well, you can put things in the header like the title of the article or even the subtitles or maybe a caption if it's like I don't know, weird story or something. So let's go ahead and do that now. So in the header, we can go ahead and add heading 1 just like before. And what am I gonna title this article? I got something really creative in mind. Title of article. And no explanation point. I'm not that excited just yet. And also you can have additional, for example, H2 tag. And here we could do something like write a subtitle. So let me think of subtitle for article, explanation point on that piece. However, I want to mention this. Whenever you have more than one headers, for example, we have two right here, inside your header, you need to group them together inside something called an H group. Now you do this by just surrounding them in H group tags. And this is just so HTML5 doesn't get confused. It's going to be like, okay, is this the title or is this the title? And we need to say, no, 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 HTML5. This is actually part of a big group. Both of these things are important. And actually, you see how we have everything lined up right here? I actually want this indented. So with Notepad++, you can just go ahead and select it and hit tab and it'll indent. It doesn't delete it or anything. So now our header is all set up. It has a title in a subtitle, and we group that in something called a header group so HTML5 wouldn't get confused. Now we also have this one paragraph, and that is the main content of our article. Now in the footer, we typically have things like you can have, if you're writing a blog, you might put a link to comment on it, or if you're just writing an article, you can just write something like this. Oops. Like write who it's written by. Written by Bucky Roberts, or you might want to put the date or something, but that's pretty much it. So mainly you have an article, or at least that's one thing I'm going to be telling you that you can put in the main section. An article is just grouped similar information. Now in this article, it could have its own layout, including its own header, its own footer, and of course you need some actual content to go in there. Now in the header, you can have a title and a subtitle, and when you have more than one, you have to group it in something called an H group. And aside from that, you can also have more than one article in this section. So let's just go ahead and copy this, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it down here, and let me just add some 2 so I can differentiate this. And alright, this is the second best article ever. So if we go ahead and save this, run, and launching Chrome right now, we can see that we do have 2 articles. Subtitle for, or excuse me, this right here is article 1, and this right here is article 2. So again, like I said, nothing is laid out yet, and I want to mention this. it may seem that all these tags are kind of useless for now, but later on I'm going to be showing you guys the awesome things you can do with all these so-called useless tags, and you guys are going to be amazed. So a bunch of people just didn't sit in a room and come up with a bunch of useless names for tags. There's actually some awesome, amazing stuff that you can do with it, and that's where the power of HTML5 comes into play. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of tease you guys and just follow along for now. I promise you guys, you will be amazed. And also, I'm gonna be copying all this code and posting it on my forum. So if you kind of miss something, or maybe you're getting an error or something, or your document doesn't look exactly like mine, just go ahead and look at my code on my forum, and you can just go ahead and actually copy the whole thing and paste it into your document if you want. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.